In this video I'll be making thermal blackout window covers for my Nissan NV200 using leftover carpet and foil insulation as I convert it into a camper. I started this project by measuring the van windscreen, the two large side windows and the two small side windows to make sure I had enough materials. These are the only windows in my van, so I'll be making two sets of identical side window covers and one large one for the windscreen. With the windows measured, I started making templates to work from. Sliding pieces of paper into the edge of the window, I worked my way round, and once I had covered all of it, drew the edge of the window onto the paper. I then trimmed the edges of the paper to leave an accurate outline of the side windows and the windscreen, which I could use as my template. Before committing to window covers, I decided to make a small prototype consisting of two pieces of the foil insulation glued together with a layer of carpet glued to one side. From this I could see how it would look and how thick it would be. Happy with this test, I continued with the window covers. I temporarily stuck the small side window template to the foil insulation with some masking tape so I could cut around the edge. I then did the same for the windscreen. Because the thermowrap foil insulation is only 60 cm wide and the Nissan NV200 windscreen is 79 cm from top to bottom, I had to compromise and make up the difference with another piece of insulation. I could then take these two foil insulation pieces to the van to see how they fit. I marked any areas I wanted to cut by creating creases in the foil and then proceeded to trim these off. After lining them up in the van again, I was finally happy with the fit. I could now cut out the second side window cover, copying it from the first one, in the knowledge that they would both fit perfectly. My next step was to double up the insulation by gluing a second layer to each piece. This will help improve their insulation properties, as well as strengthening the covers. I stuck the pieces together using Trimfix high temperature contact adhesive. I left the second layer oversized and then trimmed them down to match the first layer after I'd applied the glue, and this left a really nice edge. I ran out of insulation when doubling up the second side window, so I had to create a small patch to fill the gap. However, I'll be carpeting over this side so it would never be seen. With the insulation finished, I decided which edge would face the glass and began carpeting the opposite side that would face inside the van. Whilst putting a layer of carpet on the window covers isn't necessary, I thought it would be a nice touch. I had over-ordered when I carpeted the inside of the van, so it was a great way to use up some of the excess. Again, I used oversized pieces of carpet, stuck them down with Trimfix contact adhesive and trimmed the edges to match the shape of the foil insulation. If I got any contact adhesive on the carpet, I used a bit of white spirit to wipe it off. Having done the large side windows and the windscreen, I completed the small side windows, also known as the quarter glass, in the same way. With these completed, I took them back to the van to check the fit and trim them where necessary. I would be using 25mm wide herringbone fabric to create a neat edge along the window covers. And whilst I considered sewing the edge on, as I don't have a sewing machine it would have been a lot of work, so I opted to use contact adhesive again. In order to prevent too much overspray, I use masking tape to create an edge on both sides of each cover and, when necessary, thicken this with scrap paper. I sprayed contact adhesive onto both the cover edge and the fabric edge, and once the solvent had evaporated, worked my way around, carefully pressing them together for a neat finish. At the corners I made cuts to get rid of the excess fabric, and it worked out really neat. I could then turn the cover over and repeat the process to complete the edge. After removing the masking tape, I cleaned any excess glue off with white spirit. While I finish these edges, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel to see all the latest videos from my Nissan NV200 van build series. With the edges complete, I could think about attaching them to the van windows. I purchased a set of really good suction cups online, and these push through the covers, leaving the cup on the foil side and a small yet practical handle on the carpet side. They have a collar in the middle of the handle which covers the hole, leaving a tidy look to the covers. I started with the windscreen cover and used 8 suction cups in total, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom and 2 in the centre. I took the cover to the van and it fitted and stuck really well. Whilst there I realised that the side window covers were rigid and tight enough to stay in place by themselves, so I haven't added any suction cups to them at this point. The small quarter glass covers stay in place on their own too. As the windscreen cover is really quite large, I decided to roll it up and use a spare yoga mat strap to hold it together, which works really well. I'm really happy with my attempts to make thermal window covers. For a homemade DIY attempt, I'm thrilled with the results, and I've no doubt that the covers will do a great job at keeping the condensation to a minimum at night and keeping the sun out during the day. If you've made it this far, then please do take a moment to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.